Good morning. News 1 Now starts right now. But I have to ask you this one super duper quick question, so if you can answer super quickly. Honestly, when I appreciate your work on this case, but when I see you, I still think of George Zimmerman.
Sure.
I still think Trayvon Martin. And I'm wondering, is your stepping up to the plate to help this family in some way a mea culpa for what many of us around the country see as a gross injustice as it relates to the Trayvon Martin case? So given the fact that we're now stuck with a president who basically is vacuous when it comes to public policy, plus he's someone who, quite frankly, gets upset at actors, gets very mad at people who are insulting him in any way, but has nothing to say but "I disavow" for white supremacists running all over the place. I mean, what do you think we're up for in the next 4 years? But also be a game changer in terms of really showing a new pathway to turning red states blue. And that is by running candidates who are true to themselves and who are true to their liberal ideologies. This idea of trying to be sort of Republican light is not going to work for Democrats. Just yesterday during the election, for example, there were several instances of voting sites where huge irregularities happened. So, for example, one voter site opened with none of the voting machines having power cords. Another one opened with only 3 voting machines in a space that normally has 15 voting machines. Whenever these types of irregularities happen, they coincidentally only seem to happen in areas that have a majority black population. This is what happens when you have the fox guarding the hen house in terms of having a Secretary of State also running for governor.
When 11 people have been murdered in their house of worship, you should not have to be told to express empathy. You should not be someone who can only express empathy when you're reading it off a teleprompter. This is someone who does not care for anyone or anything beyond himself. And you're right, he has no capacity to bring the nation together because he has no desire to bring the nation together.
This young brother is amazing. He is only 31 years old. Black Panther, as you mentioned, is about to eclipse $1 billion. And guess what? This is just his 3rd film.
Neutralize the angry black woman perception.
Exactly. This is so real. This is where it gets real, okay? So, you know, your work is part of broader society. Of course, we face stereotypes throughout society, so you're going to face those in work. And one of those that's most sort of deleterious to our impact at work for black women is this issue of the angry black woman stereotype. So you have to learn how to communicate powerfully, effectively, and in a way that will garner respect, but not in a way that sort of feeds into this negative stereotype that we always have to battle.
Yesterday was not my equal pay day. For black women, our equal pay day doesn't come until August, towards the end of August, August 23rd. So let's keep it real. Even though we are...
First of all, explain to anybody who's watching why you say August 23rd.
Yes. Because that's how long a black woman has to work into 2016 to make on par what white men earn in 2015. Exactly. That's how much further we have to work into the new year.
April 12th is white women's equal pay day.
That's correct.
Yeah, it's the overall. She's correct. And if you look at, for example, the data that you just mentioned about 60 cents to the dollar, that's 60 cents to the dollar when compared to white men. When compared to white women, now, white women, we make only 77 cents to the dollar. So there is both a race and a gendered aspect to this. So pulling back the cover so that we can actually see how people are paid across both race and gender is extremely critical. Just sort of leveling the playing field by gender really does not really do everything that needs to be done in terms of making sure that people are paid fairly. The reason why he did not see anything wrong with that behavior is because it's his behavior. He's the same one who said that it's okay to just grab a woman by her genitals. So if he's all right himself being a sexual predator, he's going to protect other sexual predators.